Wow, Denmark. Wow.
All right. Welcome, everyone, to the MMOs.com podcast. Episode 148 here. A tantalizing discussion awaits. Your host, Altay, this week is joined by...
Omer.
All right. Let's get started.
Not really, not too much happened this week. It was a relatively calm week. You know, we got E3 coming up. We have, I was scouring the net for some nice internet drama that we could perhaps cover, but there's not too much going on. I think everyone's kind of excited for MapleStory 2, which is going to be launching into closed beta tomorrow, and people are excited for Bless. Those are the two games on kind of everyone's radar right now, and I'm eager to play them as well. But with that, take it away, Altay.
Before we get to the weekly rate, I got to tell you, I have reinstalled Terraria, whipped up a server with a few friends, and despite the fact that I beat this game at least twice before, and when I say beat, I mean like I killed the Moonlord guy, having a farm status, but once it's reignited that love. Like Terraria is one of the best games I own on Steam, definitely. Great game. That's all I gotta say. If you haven't played it yet, go play it. All right.
How much are they paying you, Altay? How much are they paying you?
Pay me zilch.
Zilch.
But I will take money if they're offering. Anyway,
if they're offering.
I have whipped up some controversy since we were lacking.
Oh,
I had to whip it up myself. And you know what? I actually think it's strangely relevant in the current mood.
All right.
So here's the question this week, boys. Is the influx of Chinese money good for the gaming industry? As you guys watching, you're astute MMO gamers, so you know that Tencent owns Riot Games, which makes League, and they also own a variety of companies. Another big game, Warframe, is owned by a Chinese company. RuneScape is now owned by a Chinese company. You guys probably all know all this already. But what you may not know is this stat here, thanks to the guys at DigiCapital. So, 4 out of every $10 invested worldwide in gaming, okay, was by Tencent alone. That's one Chinese company. Obviously the biggest, but one company. Tencent is involved in over 75% of all M&A. M&A stands for mergers and acquisitions in the gaming industry in the past 12 months. This is 12 months. So basically, the entire like worldwide gaming industry is like, I'd say at this point about half Chinese, okay, if not more.
Mm-hmm. And
with money, you know, comes influence, obviously. So what is that influence? So let's reel it back in a little. Free-to-play games have been big in Asia for a long time, but it was really the tsunami of Korean free-to-play games that hit us in the early 2000s. I'm sure you guys out there remember it. It left a big impact on us. Left a big impact on the gaming industry. Games like MapleStory, Fly for Fun, they came here, and they really didn't have much competition from Western developed games. And they kind of just took a whole segment of the audience, especially younger people who didn't have credit cards or whatever, like kids like us. We became huge fans of these free-to-play games. And now Western companies had to kind of copy that, right? So what is it that Western games now are copying from Chinese studios? Omar, can you take a guess?
I mean, the number one, probably biggest thing is the monetization scheme of loot boxes. I feel like loot boxes and RNG mechanics like that have always been kind of a staple of Korean and Chinese games.
Eugens, thank you for the sub, sir. Yes, you're right, and more specifically, Chinese studios, especially in the browser gaming market, a couple years back, a decade back, they perfected some of these daily logins. So every time you see a goddamn daily login reward, like all these stupid events going on, multiple currencies, like, you know, you got to convert them. Some of them do this, some of them do that, all that kind of crap. That's all from Chinese game design. And now it's infiltrating basically every game there is. Because first of all, it works. A few there, you know, some people like us say, you know, this stuff's pay to win, it's stupid, but obviously it works. The money's rolling in, people keep buying the shit, so it's here to stay. So expect more login bonuses, weekly, daily login bonuses, monthly login bonuses, all that crap. So what are your thoughts on that? I hate when I see that stuff. It's clutter on my screen.
Look, a lot of games when you first launch, you'll get like 5 pop-up windows of like daily login, and what also grinds my gears is like spin this stupid wheel and like this happens. Then there's like a board game going on. There's like 8 different events going on of just like logging in and clicking one button. So they kind of like overwhelm that to a degree, where it kind of turns like events into like these just, I don't know, these RNG things. You just click a button. Like where events previously used to be kind of like cool things in the game, and now they're just all these combined with these daily login things. It's kind of a clutter, but clearly it works. We've seen it in so many games.
Yeah, and people in chat are already saying they like that because they like, and the whole purpose behind these things is something called retention. See, in the good old days, companies, Western studios, they made whatever they made, whether they made retail games or MMORPGs. You paid them, $15 a month or $50 for a copy, and that was it. That was the model, right? And then the point was to sell you fun. They're selling you fun, either a $50 box or a $15 recurring unit of fun, right? Now, the new model, thanks to China mainly, is we got the customer. We have to keep him in as long as possible and squeeze him for every last red cent he's got, okay?
Yeah.
We're not selling fun anymore. We're selling addiction. We're selling, we got to glue you to the screen and squeeze what we can from you. That is the model. That is how they develop these games in China, and they're, very open about it. I actually linked a old GDC presentation of a guy who enters the Chinese gaming market, and he talks about the way that Chinese developers talk to each other. Like when they're making a game, they're like, oh, I just came with a really good idea for a new monetization well or pit. Like we're gonna suck a player into this pet upgrade feature, right? So and the way it's gonna work is the pet upgrade. The first few tiers are gonna be easy, right? Like the horse plus 1, horse plus 2, whatever. But then later on, the cost involved is gonna be exponential. So it's gonna go from like costing $1 to like roll for this pet stat to like $1,000 like per roll once it gets like elite ultra status. And they get you that way. They get you down this well. They get you addicted. And then at the surface level, for the first, for most casual players, they're never going to spend that much. But for a few that get really addicted, they're going to spend thousands in that one feature. And it's all by design.
So what you're trying to tell me is that gaming, especially Chinese game design and monetization mechanics, are the new nicotine, new cigarettes.
Yes, I think I think we argued a little bit before we streamed, but I don't think this would have happened absent this introduction from the East. I don't think the guys at Blizzard or EA, or even EA at the time, when they were making a game, their idea was to make a good, fun game and then charge money for it. Right? Now, because of China, the model is not to make a good, fun game, but make a game that kind of forces players to stay in and spend as maximum amount of money possible.
But wasn't always like that to a degree.
No.
Like when Blizzard made a game like Diablo 2 or whatever, right? When they're making that game, they wanted to. Did they not want to make as much money as possible? Like if they could charge more, they would have.
They wanted to make a great game and charge $50 for it.
Well, they wanted to make as much money as possible, and that was their goal.
They wanted to sell
planned expansion packs
to
make more money. They planned stuff like that to make as much money as possible. The things at the time, perhaps we didn't have the mechanisms to collect the microtransactions. There was no.
No. I bet around those, and I could test that because I think you had these kind of free to play.
No, you didn't. 2003, 2004 is when it started really taking off. And games like MapleStory and Fight for Fun are 2003, 2004 at the earliest in Korea. Oh, and then you had games like Nexus Kingdom of the Wind. It was subscription based, wasn't it? Subscription based in Korea as well.
Yes, it was.
Okay, so the model didn't really vary that much. It was, I think, really around like early 2000s. This model really started taking off. So even Diablo 2 is not a fair example. No, that's way older.
But what about StarCraft 2? Do you think when StarCraft 2 came out, if it was developed by a Chinese company, can we freeball and what kind of features it would have had? I'll tell you. Login bonuses. You pay for the premium Marines that do extra damage. Yeah,
StarCraft 2 is a very specific kind of game, an RTS kind of game. And are there really any free to play RTS games? Because it doesn't seem like a type of game that's easy to monetize.
Hold up, the whole trend of those what do you call it? Those strategy games.
Don't you dare lump StarCraft 2 to the same shit pile of Game of War and Clash of Clans and those paid. No, one is in like an MMO atmosphere. One is like in a strict like specific 1v1, 2v2, 3v3 map style. Like they're not even the same kind of games. Like Civilization, 5, 6. These games are not comparable.
Civilization 6, it's comparable. It's turn-based, right?
Sure.
Okay. If China made Civilization 6, it would have been total pay to win.
But it would not have been the same game. It would not be an RTS. It would not be the kind of strategy game to say. It would be a game like Game of War. It would be a game like Clash of Clans.
Sure.
Like Final Fantasy 15, A New Empire. Like, it wouldn't be the same game. Same thing with StarCraft 2. But the StarCraft 2's RTS. By the way, Blizzard, is making a strategy. I think a mobile strategy game.
And the whole point of this weekly raid is I think that the Chinese mindset has infiltrated the whole gaming industry now.
Don't give me this infiltrate. First of all,
if something works, you copy it. I mean, it's not like
when Tencent bought Riot Games, did they really change the monetization model? Did they really change did they become pay to win all of a sudden? No. Nothing really changed. They did add loot boxes relatively recently, but those are purely for cosmetics. They're like heroes aren't specifically behind the loot boxes. The monetization model is generally the same. You buy the heroes or you unlock them. When Tencent bought a piece of Epic Games, did they radically change? No. In fact, Tencent has actually been known, the company that you cited as being investing $4 out of every $10 in the gaming space. They have a very hands-on approach. They've always been hands-off. They let the company that they invest in or acquire do their own thing. They don't jump in there and tell them what to do. That's always been their management style.
Okay, I get that.
So I don't think the Chinese money is also with your example with Blizzard. Let's say Chinese games or Korean games and Asian games never came to the West, right? You don't think Blizzard, you don't think EA would look to China for inspiration when they look at the size of the gaming market?
By the way, I have a perfect silver bullet for you. Ready?
Let's hear it.
When I read an interview with Blizzard, okay, when they went to China with WoW initially, okay, they say we got a call. Someone called the Blizzard office in China and said, "I'm busy. I'm a busy guy. I want to pay $1,000. Give me the best rated gear during vanilla. I just want to buy it from you." Blizzard said, "No, we don't do that." And then this guy said in an interview, in hindsight, we should have said yes, because there's a huge market now in China, like we were talking about last week, where people log into your account in WoW or whatever and raid for you. So this guy probably went to one of those gray market people and did it. So Blizzard just lost that $1,000.
But that happens in World of Warcraft in the West as well, where you could buy raid gear.
It happens. And and that's why they said no to him, because it's something they were trying to control, right?
Yeah,
ban you for it, etc. In America, it was basically a dark market. It was a black market. But in the way it worked in China is literally everyone did it and everyone was okay with it. Like there wasn't a stigma against it. You weren't trying to hide it. It wasn't like go to like this website and don't talk about it in the game because you're gonna get banned. It was like, hey, it was like all chat. Yo, who wants to level for me? I'll give you 1,000. I'll give you some yuans. Like it's so open there, and so the mentality is different. And I'm afraid that mentality is creeping in to the West, which, by the way, you kind of encapsulate, because last week you were kind of saying that it was a shame that that Square Enix was not getting the money for from that guy. So just you posing that question that way shows me that the Chinese influence is here. And we can't get around that. We got to deal with it.
But that influence was always here. People were always advertising gold selling in World of Warcraft. Since vanilla WoW, you could buy gold. You could buy the best gear in World of Warcraft through a gray market, third-party advertising.
Yes,
people.
But I don't think
always there.
I agree. I'm not disagreeing with that. But I'm saying at no point back then, without the Chinese influence, would anyone at Blizzard even suggest that they sell it directly. Because it was so taboo. It was like so taboo. You know what I'm saying? Like this is totally unrelated. But like suicide in the West, because of Christianity, Islam, and Judaism, suicide is bad. It's got a moral weight to it, like a negative.
Yeah.
But in East Asia, suicide is like neutral. Like it's like whatever. You want to kill, that's your business. It's not like a moral issue.
But yeah, it's a cultural thing, and I don't
cultural
think...
exactly. So
sure.
So now I think going forward, more games are gonna ask questions like you did last week. Maybe why don't we just sell raid gear for $1,000? I mean, it's happening anyway. So we're going to get more of that going forward.
But now look at the positives. You don't think, Tencent providing investment capital or fundraising for all these small game studios is a net positive, maybe? Like, there's clearly something to be said about that as well.
Sure, it's money.
And you could still easily, let's say again, these games never came to America, right? They operate on their own in China, right? And they never invested in America.
Yeah.
You don't think it's pretty obvious that EA, Blizzard, all these game companies are like, hey, wait a minute, the Chinese gaming market is making like $20-30 billion a year, and we're making a lot less. Like, what are they doing different? Like, you don't think that would I don't think you needed MapleStory. I don't think you needed these Chinese games to come here, and because those Chinese games that actually launched here, they never really took off. Same with the Korean ones. Like, what is the most successful Korean game in America? Can you even maybe MapleStory, maybe Black Desert Online, maybe these games don't make a lot of money. Like the biggest, most successful games in America aren't the Asian games. No, or the westernized games.
Yes.
Western games.
Yeah, yes. But my point is, the Western studios, they're incorporated. Yeah, sure. They're influenced by the East, but China, and also I'm not trying to pick on China here. I think Japan with mobile games is just as bad. All the bad things about mobile game monetization comes from Japan. They're like on the front line of bilking you in mobile gaming. They're over there in Japan. So there's a lot of that coming from Japan, and it's being those same features even on a Western developed game. They're incorporating those Japanese features into their games. So it's not like I'm not saying a Chinese company is coming here and like taking over League and making it pay to win. I'm saying Western studios like Blizzard or whatever are looking and seeing that it works.
But you don't think this would happen anyway?
I mean, in a universe where China just was, let's say, stayed third, like Mao didn't die, and he lived to be 100. No. And they never developed.
Chinese games were never localized. Never became in English. Never got localized in English.
They would still
Korean games.
They would still come.
Japanese games.
The ideas would still flow.
Okay, they would still
but I'm saying, let's say China never industrialized and they never had computers. I'm saying it wouldn't have occurred to like Blizzard, StarCraft 1 era, Diablo 1 era. Hey, why don't we like charge like 5 cents per red potion and then we can make a lot of money? Like that thought would not have occurred to a Western guy from the 90s.
I feel like there's a bit of a race, but why does that occur to Chinese then? To milk you for every like penny you can get. Like,
I mean, there's a lot of things that occur to Western people, not Asians. I don't know.
I don't think that's true though. I think from the get-go they were always thinking about how can we make the most money possible. I don't think these Western studios are angels.
No. I get it. They're 100% trying to make money, but within that framework, they were not thinking that they could get away with. They weren't even thinking of that possibility.
But the concept of DLC was always like a thing. Almost like we had the when was DLC?
We had expansions. We had expansions.
But before expansion, like in between expansions is DLC.
But remember,
which is like extra content you can pay for.
But the compact with DLC was you're literally getting not a whole new game, but like a sliver of new game. And you're paying the appropriate price.
Yeah.
If it's $10, you're getting like 1/10 of a game. You know, like that was the bargain. It wasn't like we're gonna bilk you over and over again in one game for the same content.
What about Neopets? When did Neopets add like a cash shop? I don't remember because I know Neopets has always been. I don't know if they have, because I know they're very heavily advertising related. But did they ever have a cash shop like cosmetics and stuff?
They do now, but I don't know when. I think it came later.
What is are there any early examples of a Western developed online game with microtransactions of any kind? I'm curious. I don't know. I don't see any benefit of. I think this was inevitable. This is when this is what ultimately. The Chinese discovered and the Japanese discovered what makes the most money quicker than the American companies. Yes. I think the American companies would have gotten there without the help from Chinese or Japanese. Eventually, it might take another 4 or 5 years, 6 years. Maybe they would have gotten to the same conclusion.
Sure, I can agree with that. But it's still, I think it's unfortunate that the tide washed over us.
No, I would actually say it's a positive because look at the impact of free-to-play gaming. The idea of a free-to-play game, even this was really like you had freeware games, right? You had like these demo games, or like these games. They weren't really full games. They were free. You never had a real a game developed by a studio that was free to play. That was just not a viable business model until we got the influence from Asia. And I think that was a huge net positive because even with all the bullshit you're talking about, which is real, like there's obviously some the negative monetization. You have games like Dota 2. You have games like Team Fortress 2, which went free to play. These are actually like wonderful examples. Like I think they've done free to play correctly, and it's like pro consumer friendly. These are good games, and now we get for free. So not every game carries that negative stigma, like a really shitty, make it as much money as possible business model. And
that's why I distinguish in the weekly raid between Korean games introduced free to play, and Western studios adopted free to play and gave beautiful games like League of Legends, Warframe. My concern, and it's just a concern at this point, because like you said, Tencent has not ruined League yet by any means, right? Yeah. But my concern is going forward with all this Chinese influence, the Chinese game development mentality will seep in, and that mentality is different than Koreans. And in fact, it probably infiltrated Korea a lot more just because of proximity. All these unending barrage of these login bonuses, constant events, these multiple features that are basically monetization pits, like the pet systems and like in BDO, the pet system is a total joke. You upgrade forever, and it costs like exponential amounts.
Is that a Korean system too? The way you upgrade gear and it gets like +1, +2, +3, +4, and becomes exponentially difficult to get the next plus. That's a Korean thing as well. But
with weapons is in Korea.
Or with pets.
With China, it's everything. Like they did it with everything.
Yeah, actually, in case you're curious what we're talking about, I mean, I recommend you play like a random Chinese browser MMO. Let me think if I can get one off the top of my head.
I'll go to one. League of Angels, is that one? Is it Chinese?
League of Angels is a good one. Yeah, bust out League of Angels. Like show off some League of Angels on Steam. This is a good example of a game. Do League of Angels 2, I guess, probably because that's a newer one. Or League of Angels 1, whichever one. But this is a really good example of where like these games they overwhelm players with like upgrade systems. So there's like 100 different ways to upgrade your character. There's like 500 different ways to like boost your stats. And the fairy system, upgrade your fairy. Oh, the crystal gem system. Every time you upgrade a crystal gem, you get more battle points or combat power, right? It's called CP, combat power. Oh, upgrade this. There's so many ways to upgrade your character. It's very overwhelming. And these are actually all just designed to be money pits. So you don't really see that in Korean games. You do have the weapon upgrades, but there's very few systems like that, the way the Chinese do. It's actually really overwhelming and really bizarre if you never played these kind of games before. League of Angels 2 is a good example, and both League of Angels 1. And the sad part is some of these browser games are absolutely huge. I think League of Angels has if you look at the number of servers there are for League of Angels, you might I'm gonna drop the link anyway in case anyone's curious. League of Angels has thousands of servers. The one I like, you can see these are all for US East, number of servers in the game. And you can click on US West, Europe, Oceanic, and Twitch chat. You can just see how many servers there are for this game.
Wow, look at this. All right, this is not
It's insane.
I gotta make an account, and it's not cooperating right now.
So somebody said, oftentimes the problem is with the publisher, not so much the developer. That's kind of a cop out. The developer ultimately controls the product, right? And very often the developer is also affiliated with the publisher. So yes, the publisher has some leeway what they can do with it, but like you have companies like Nexon which self-publish their own games. Perfect World that self-publish their own games. Almost all the browser games that self-publish as well. So like, and ultimately the way like what the publisher can do is set in a contract. The developer owns a product, so it's ultimately up to the developer, I think, to control their monetization.
And Revelation Online is another good example of a Chinese developed game where there's just so much like currencies involved. This weird pacing, you know, it's very easy for a while, and then just you hit a wall. Yeah. So a lot of mobile games have embraced this. If you download any mobile game like Lineage 2, Revolution, any of those kind of games, right? The first, I'd say 3 hours is basically auto walk, auto play, brain dead easy, but you feel good because you're getting new gear, you're getting new cards, whatever the game system has, right? It's cards, characters, but then you hit a wall where like all of a sudden getting the next character or whatever takes like days unless you pay, and they want you to pay.
Yeah, for sure. Try to find another Chinese game for you to take a look at if you can't get that one working.
Oh, it's working. It's working. I think it's playing itself. I'm not really sure what's going on. I'm
yeah,
fighting.
It probably will play itself. Most of the game is going to be like
Molten Golem.
Ooh. It's actually a relatively new, like, it's actually, what's really bizarre is that you get these, there's some really, like, some of these Chinese browser games too are just reskins with like popular American or Japanese IPs. There was a Soul Calibur one. Have you ever seen that one? I'll show you that one. That one is fun.
Like me.
This is a spicy one, boys. Let me see if we can find the link to this. Here we go. See if we can play this bad boy. Give you that spicy link here, Altay. This is definitely original IP. Obviously, you might make an account though.
We'll see.
You probably won't make an account, unfortunately. League of Angels 2 first look live. But if you play these games, you'll know what we're talking about. The monetization pitch. It's really Chinese games really do something special there. It's a whole nother like ballpark, and it's really bizarre.
If I may make a bad analogy, okay. So this is what a Western developed game used to be. You go to imagine you go to the movies, right? You pay $10, you watch a movie, okay? Yeah. You enjoy it. It ends in like 2 hours, let's say, and you leave. Right? That's it. That's a game. Now here's what a Chinese game is. You pay $1 or nothing to go into the theater, but now this movie never ends. It's 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours. Every time you go to leave, like you got to pee, they'll bring you a piss bucket. You hungry? They'll bring you some food, but they'll charge you every time, like $5 for the food, $2 for the piss bucket, and they know like you can sit out there for 12 hours, 24 hours. They don't want you to leave. They just want to keep charging you. Like you're getting tired? Here's a pillow. Like that's the model. Like so, like in this game, they don't want you to never leave this. They just want to keep clicking. Hero summon, next summon. You know, get the waifus. You know, heroes. Oh, I'm getting a character. Oh, what am I doing? Oh, summon. Oh, look at that. They don't want you to leave.
Spicy.
How's my analogy?
That makes sense. Yeah, Chinese games are definitely something else.
I got to verify my email for this Soul Calibur, so I'm not doing it. All right. Well, you had my spiel on this Chinese stuff, so we can move on unless you got anything else to say.
Yeah. No, before we move on to talk a little about MapleStory 2, which again, close beta begins tomorrow. I'm very hyped for that. I do want to talk a little bit about bring back an idea I brought up a couple of weeks ago about user-generated content and player-made content playing a greater and greater role in online games, or really any game. I've always said for a long time that the next MMO or online game that incorporates this well will be very successful. I always thought that was like the next like innovation, the next big thing in MMORPGs. They'll bring us the next WoW, so to speak. I know MapleStory 2 is going to be trying to do something like that with its cosmetics, but there's another example of a game actually that kind of implemented this. Dota 2 has custom maps. It's had custom maps for a long time, but in the last 2 weeks or so, I'm not sure when exactly it came out, there's a custom map for Dota 2 called you've played it with me Altay earlier. But it's actually, I gave you a link to it. It's called Touhou Avatar Dream Battle. It's basically a tower defense built on Dota 2's custom map engine. Now, typically on Dota 2, the most popular game on the custom map area is Overthrow. It's made by Valve. It's a Valve-made map. Overthrow. It gets about 1,000 players online. I think it peaks around 1,500 or so every day. And now you have this game called Touhou Avatar Dream Battle, and it just launched, and it's mega popular. It has I give you a screenshot. This screenshot is from yesterday. I was playing this last night, and there are about 23,000 players online at once playing this tower defense game on Dota 2. 23,000. That would put it on the top 10 of Steam of some of the most played games of concurrent players, and it's literally an anime waifu tower defense, a freaking amazing one on Dota 2.
Yeah, I also played this several times, and it's a lot of fun. And you can honestly, it's one of those things where it's probably best played alone, because if you play, I think it's up to 4 players, right? But if you play with teammates, their leak can end your game, right?
Yeah.
So if you're gonna play with people, play with friends, and so you don't mind if you lose, you know. Otherwise, just play solo. But yeah, it's a lot of fun, and it's a totally free experience for the user, and Dota's free too. So this is the beauty of gaming.
It's a Chinese developed game, by the way. I think it's Chinese.
What do you mean Chinese developed?
It's a Chinese developed custom map, I believe.
Well, I mean,
but
whatever. I'm not.
You realize the game is a cash shop, right?
It has a cash. I did not know that.
There's a cash shop, but you get paid money to get in game. You get orbs that you can use to unlock new Touhou characters.
Well, again, I wouldn't say it's Chinese developed, because it's built on Dota 2, and
sure.
know, so it's like a custom game. I'm not gonna say it's Chinese developed. It's a custom game.
Sure, it's a Chinese developed custom map for Dota 2, but there is a microtransaction cash shop, and it's actually pretty amazing how they implement that into the game, right? Because you can pay, and you get it's got its own. It's really weird that there's a cash shop within a custom map on Dota 2.
It is interesting, and actually, it reminds me of a story. I think a week or 2 ago, StarCraft 2, Blizzard officially announced that you can pay money for custom maps in StarCraft 2 as well now. So creators can get paid for the maps they create. So that's a fun little trend. And I know we talked several weeks ago about Roblox. There are people who are making hundreds of thousands of dollars a year from their Roblox custom maps, mini games, whatever you call them, Roblox. So that's a pretty cool trend. I do hope more games do stuff like this.
Yeah, and this just shows you how popular this could be. Remember, this is just a custom, and most people don't play Dota 2 to play custom maps, but this game has really catch people's attention. It has over 20,000 current players, and that's more people playing this Touhou game right now in Dota 2 than Black Desert Online on Steam. Isn't that amazing? More people are playing this custom map than the peak player base on Steam for Black Desert Online, and it's literally just a player-made map. And this is the future, I think, of online games. It's the future of you need it.
Really?
You need a game. I think this.
I think it was 100%. Bigger. I think it's declining. I mean, think about our childhood. Counter-Strike, Warcraft 3, StarCraft. You had Counter-Strike was a mod. Dota was a mod. TDs were born during StarCraft and Warcraft 3 era. I think if anything, it's kind of declined. And the biggest counter example to my argument is not Dota 2. It's Roblox. Roblox is pretty big in user-generated content. But one Dota map that's actually getting some traction, I think the trend is still away from this, unfortunately.
No. The trend has been away, but you can't underestimate how much impact it's had. Like literally, PUBG was created with mods. Yeah. The tower defense genre was basically came to life through StarCraft 1 and Warcraft 3.
No, I just said that, but that was like 20 years ago. I mean, I'm saying the trend you're still getting it. PUBG is a good example, but it's less than before.
Yeah, but there has to be a game that's built from the ground up. Like Roblox is also a great example. Roblox is built around people making content.
Do you know what Roblox is? Roblox is not a spring chicken.
I know, it's an oldie.
Yeah. But
this proves this, but no one's really tried it besides. Is there any other game out there that's a standalone, it's built around player-made content? Is there anything else like that? Like gaming has kind of given up on that concept. But,
exactly.
But then,
that's what I'm saying.
But when gaming gave up on this concept, you've had websites take over, like Reddit, Facebook, these social networks.
That's
Reddit.
All too, Mark.
That's all user-created content. This is all Web 2.0 content.
Yeah, that's all 20 years old.
Sure. But the next game that's built around Second Life is still relatively.
Come on.
It's still old as well.
It's been on decline for 10 years.
Yes, but there hasn't been any new games doing this. I'm saying the next game. That's gonna be the next WoW killer. That's gonna be the next special sauce in my mind. Whoever can take advantage, because there is creative energy out there. Look, this guy made this mod for Dota 2.
You know what the future is gonna be? A big Chinese boot, with a little LED built in. You're playing League of Angels all day on it. See, I'm just
maybe.
Guys, by the way, for the past 5 minutes, I've been literally clicking the shining object. Like, you see this golden arrow here? I'm clicking the X. Okay, now it's telling me to click this. It's literally graying out everything, but the one thing it wants me to click, and the whole game is like this for hours. This is gaming. This is the future gaming right here.
I want to see you play this game as well. Let's mix it up. All right. This is from instantfunds.com. All right, this is another Chinese browser game.
I mean, they're all the same.
There's no account needed. Don't worry. You can start playing.
Much like the look of the people, they're all the same. I'm just
wow, racist here, boys. Altai racist confirmed. So I mentioned in the chat, Perry Chronicles. Yeah, I think Perry Chronicles, that was their original dream, and that's a really cool content. And that's why I was kind of excited for Perry Chronicles, though we haven't heard too much about that in a while. So whoever does that concept, where you build a game from the ground up, built around player-created content, like the whole effort by developers has to be around giving players the tools to make the content for the game. If they could do that well, that's going to be the next WoW kill. That should be the next, big game.
I'm playing hands-free, by the way.
It's amazing that people are just... Game developers have not jumped on this, but they're all jumping on the Battle Royale bandwagon. But, like, how is nobody looking at what the Touhou Anime Dream Battle game and saying, wow, 22,000 people are playing this? And the people that are playing it, it's like Dota 2's community jumped over to play this. Most of my friends who play Dota 2 don't play custom maps ever.
That's true.
Like, never. The people that... These attracted new people to the game. The people that like Touhou, right? They downloaded Dota 2 just to play this. So it's not like it's successful because it's siphoned off Dota 2's community. No. Nobody plays custom maps on Dota 2. It's kind of dead. And this game came out of nowhere with 22,000 concurrent players. That a game developer should look at that and be like, holy shit, this is just one game by one person through one actually really unintuitive game maker engine. The Dota 2 tools required to make a custom map are not user-friendly at all. So if somebody can make a platform and just encourage player-created content like the Dota custom map, or maybe an MMORPG where all the dungeons are made by other players, all the assets are made by other players, if they could do shit like that, it'd be amazing.
Once again, I will play Debbie Downer. Okay.
Right.
There was a game that were trying to do exactly what you said, and in fact, it's more related to our channel because it was an MMORPG. EverQuest Next, along with Landmark, was trying to do exactly what you said.
Watched, yeah.
They wanted to basically release these tools called Landmark, where the users could create this voxel-based world, environments, characters, whatever, and this stuff could be. And they said this was the same tool they were using to build EverQuest Next, and then players could create content for an MMORPG in this sandbox. And this it was in development for years. But you know what happened? The whole thing got scrapped. It's all went to the garbage heap.
Yes, because it never happened. They never actually released a functional product because it's hard to even judge if that could have been successful or not because the reality is they have to launch something and see if people make content for it. Like that's what determines if it's successful or not.
Well, guess what? There was no interest. They gauged the market. They released
Landmark. Interest. They just never finished it. There was nothing there to finish.
Landmark was out. It just didn't come together.
And Landmark was not like this engine to create stuff. They changed that a lot, and it became just like this generic MMORPG, if I remember correctly.
No. I mean, it was never like it wasn't like a full thing. It was like you were supposed to make things in it, and then with the promise that it was going to be ported.
Yeah, EQN was just a tech demo. Landmark was I don't know.
But I think what you're saying is a lot harder to do. It's a lot harder to do than you're thinking.
No, look at Minecraft is made by one guy, arguably one really talented individual. Like the creativity aspect is there. Like Minecraft was not built around creating like this narrative or this like specific kind of gameplay. Like what makes Minecraft amazing is there's battle royale in Minecraft. Like Minecraft might have been like one of the original earlier battle royale games, and there are like these weird the mafia games happening on there. Like it's this amazing place of creativity where people make their own content and different servers, like competing for ideas and cool content. Rather than relying on anytime we're relying on the developer to create new content, it just seems like you always run to this content drought. It's a very big thing in MMORPGs. Like right now in Final Fantasy 14, it's kind of a content drought because there's nothing else for me to do. I'm actually best in slot in everything right now for my character, and there's not much else for me to do until new content comes out. But if content is constantly being created, like the beauty, and I think the reason why websites like Facebook and Reddit become like people literally pour all their time on it. People spend like hours and hours on Facebook all day because content is constantly being created. There's this endless stream of shit to do on these websites. And MMORPGs and gaming can be that if it just relies not on just one developer or the developer itself. It relies on third-party content creators. And YouTube and Twitch is like that too. People watch YouTube and Twitch all day because it's literally an infinite stream of content. And I hate that word content, but
I think there's a reason the kind of games that do what you're saying that work are things like Minecraft and Roblox. They're very simple, dated graphics, obviously, dated technicals, and we're not going to get an MMORPG of that scale. No way, no how. It's going to be things like that, mini games in the sandbox, which is okay. Mini games. I mean, Warcraft 3 custom games, were basically mini games, right?
Well, you can just start with like an engine that's Think like Warcraft 3 or StarCraft 2. But instead of spending all these resources trying to make this story, this narrative, just make assets and give people the tools of those assets to just make whatever they want with, you know? Just make custom maps on there and make that be the platform. I mean, and make it free to play and make money off, you know.
Dual Universe is trying this. There's a sci-fi MMORPG in development with this idea. But if I had to bet, I would bet it against it not being that big. What about you?
It depends how they execute it too, because I looked at some of the videos and they seem pretty complex. Like you can like code directly into it, as long as it's not as bad as Second Life. But the Second Life success tells me that this model works, even though like, if you can implement this in the shittiest way possible, it'll still work. Second Life is the worst implementation of what I'm talking about ever. It's actually so unintuitive, not just from making, not just from the creating asset standpoint, from literally the user standpoint. It is stupidly unintuitive. But despite that, the game has a pretty, you know, loyal player base. Despite like the worst implementation possible. By the way, are you playing the Chinese Pokemon game I linked to you?
Oh no, I'll play that now. I was playing. I was still playing League of Angels.
I'm Pokemon Mega. This is the new Pokemon game you guys have never heard of. It's a Chinese version of Pokemon, obviously unlicensed, and probably copyright disaster waiting to happen.
Am I gonna go to jail for this?
No, just do it. Look at that Pikachu jumping up and down. Give it a try.
I'm gonna be Bulbasaur.
Let's see what you think about Pokemon Mega. This is it's something else. It's another Chinese browser game.
All right, skip the story. Who cares about that?
Andrew, don't be so sure. Nintendo doesn't have much sway in the land of China where copyrights don't matter.
Is my name White Leopard? Why is my name White Leopard?
You chose the default name.
I can claim the VIP. I get diamonds. I get free diamonds. Look, I already don't know what's going on. There's so much stuff going on.
Oh, your UI will get more and more cluttered as you keep playing.
Challenge boss once. Lesser fruit times 10. Go. Challenge.
Hell yeah. Pokemon Mega boys. VIP gaming. And again, I wish I could show you the game, but I remember looking at one of these Chinese games where there's League of Angels or something else. In order to get max level VIP, in Forsaken World Mobile, for example, it played very much similar to a Chinese browser game in a Chinese mobile game. In order to get like max level VIP in Forsaken World Mobile, it required $75,000. When I talk about $75,000, and that is not a miscalculation. It was $75,000 to be max level VIP.
Lucifer Kings, thank you for this up, guys. I don't know if you just noticed, but when I clicked to fight the boss, I fought. There was an Arcanite on my screen. Okay. Now, and then when I fought the Arcanite, the loading screen was a Mewtwo, and then when the game actually started, I was fighting a Caterpie. Like they couldn't get anything right.
This game is amazing, boys. This game is amazing.
By the way, I'm not moving. It's moving by itself. And it's like getting experience and everything. I'm not. My hands are off the keyboard. So our
hands off the keyboard. I'm watching. It's amazing. I'm watching this game.
We're having an interesting talk here because we're actually arguing about two. We're showing one side of gaming, right? This autoplay, mindless, hypnosis, cash grab bullshit, right? From China, by the way. And on the other side, you're talking about this kind of sandbox, player creativity, endless possibility, right?
Yeah.
This is like the fight between light and dark, you know, good and evil, honestly, right? And unfortunately, I think evil is going to win. I think people are going to open their browser and stare at this, and they're going to feel good about themselves. Look, I'm accomplishing something.
Challenge the thing on the bottom right of your screen. It says challenge. What is that?
Okay, I'll click it.
I'm curious what that is.
Oh, it's a Snorlax. Oh, nope, it's a Mewtwo. Oh, no, it's a Pidgey.
What? Wanna play gaming, boys?
Like, so this is it's like Star Wars, honestly. Like, this game is like the Sith Lord, okay? Right? You're like
pretty funny.
What's up?
It was a game just like this. I think maybe by the same company because it has the same like weird player, right? It was a Yu-Gi-Oh ripoff, right? It just you're playing like the card game Yu-Gi-Oh. And like I was looking at the cash shop out of curiosity, right? So I played through the game, the tutorial. I got to the cash shop, and there's an item in the cash shop for this browser Yu-Gi-Oh game called like Loss Eraser, right? And you buy for real life money. And when you use it, you have a record of wins and losses, right? You might have like 15 wins, 10 losses, right? It erases all the losses, so now you get 0 losses. So now you're 15 and 0.
Do you think? Hold on. Do you honestly think that's a Chinese developed thing, right?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, so do you think Blizzard or any Western game company would have ever thought of something like a pay-to-use loss eraser in like StarCraft? No way. It's not in the psyche. It's like
there's a different level of thinking going on over there.
I really think it's like you know how two butterflies can like branch off, but it causes evolution like because like the You know that story with the Industrial Revolution, like the trees got dark from like coal, so the
Yeah.
butterflies evolved to be dark. I really think something happened in evolution like thousands of years ago, and the Chinese mind just evolved differently than like the European mind, and now we're seeing the results of this in this.
Yeah, to a degree, because again, like you said, that would never happen from Western games too. It's unthinkable, right? It's unthinkable. Like obviously, even like the greediest like Western game developers, they all want to make money. Everyone wants to make money, but like, it just would occur to them to monetize the game by just hiding your losses, making your loss like it totally destroys the like the meaning of a score, like your win-loss ratio when you can read. It's not that it resets the wins and losses. It literally just makes the losses down to zero. It keeps the wins alone. So if you see something in that game like, oh my god, I'm like 3,000 wins, 0 losses, I'm amazing. No, bro, you just spent money on the fucking loss eraser, buddy.
That's pretty funny.
It's just remarkable. Like that form of monetization does not exist elsewhere. So what else going on in this game, Altay? Like your character's just grinding. Like,
can I just say that the graphic looks beautiful when you beat the enemy? So if you see my Bulbasaur comes out and it literally kicks the enemy away and it goes flying off the screen when I beat it.
Yeah. So you like fight trainers once in a while too, but like it's all like there's no actual battle going on over there.
No, it's just my guy just kind of like stands there and then wins.
The boss 81 captured rare Pokemon tells you like who they're capturing and stuff.
I'm getting
Catchup in the game.
I'm getting more diamonds for leveling up.
Hell yeah.
Okay, I can level up my Bulbasaur.
But it just, I don't know. It's sad. Like back to another point like a couple weeks ago. It really hurts me. It really hurts me to see games like this do really well. Like maybe this is not a good example because it's a really obscure Chinese game, but there are Final Fantasy 15, A New Empire. It really hurts me to see that game make like so much money. It's one of the highest grossing mobile games on iOS. And it's really just a pay-to-win cash grab strategy game that has no depth whatsoever and is literally just a reskinned version of Game of War. It offers nothing new. It's stupidly unfair. It's just nonsense. And it makes... We don't know how much money it makes exactly because it's not like public, but they're like top 15 highest grossing mobile games. So it's probably making over $50 million a year. And that's sad. It hurts.
I think you'd be surprised how much money these kind of games make. Even this one is going to make money. Like I said,
probably.
I honestly think there are people watching this, okay, or like playing this that really feel good seeing these numbers go up. Like they get joy and fulfillment out of it as more than they do from like Minecraft or whatever. To a large percent of people, they don't want challenge. They don't want creativity. They just want to see numbers going up. That's what they want. Like, think of those clicker games. Even we played clicker games, right? There's some hypnosis to them. Like there's something about seeing flashing lights and numbers going up. I think it hits like a primal part of our brain. So it works.
Maybe
it works. It definitely works.
But yeah, this game is like all play. But what about all the strategy games? Something about those really gets people addicted too. And it's not like, it's not just about numbers going up. It's just there's pay to win, nonsense.
I'm telling you, people like that.
If people are interested in a conversation about monetization, though, I do recommend looking at that video about the GDC conference about monetization from a Chinese game company. I think it was in the original Weekly Rate article. That's actually a really fascinating listen rather. It's sad to see this.
I gotta close this. It's too much for me.
Are you fighting Mewtwo? No, you're fighting.
You're never actually fighting Mewtwo. He's just a loading screen.
Mewtwo. And are you like fighting or is it like autoplay in the combat?
Autoplay. 100% autoplay. I honestly, I haven't stopped getting these completed achievement rewards. I keep clicking and I keep having more of them. It just doesn't go away. Look at the Ekans. Just a boss Ekans right here.
And out of curiosity, did you know how much money RuneScape was acquired for? Jagex, the Chinese company that bought it. Do you know how much they paid?
No, how much?
They got a steal, I think. Throw a number out there. Let's see how close you'll get.
Okay, so guys, you can guess along in chat if you don't know already. How much did Jagex, the owners of RuneScape, get bought out for?
It's a few years ago. It's been a while.
I will say 600 million. That's my guess.
You're off. $300 million.
Oh,
that seems like a really good deal considering how iconic RuneScape is and how
I agree.
How long lasting it's survived the test of time, and it's a game that people who played it growing up still play today. So that was a great buy for 300 mil.
Yeah, I think so. Not that I have 300 million, but a bargain nonetheless.
And a small update to remember when we talked about can gamers like do good? It was one of our weekly raids, right?
It was.
Did you see the latest new skin for Mercy in Overwatch?
No, link me. I need excuse to get away from that Pokemon game, please.
All right, get out of the Pokemon game.
All right,
Just a very minor detour because it kind of coincides with our previous weekly raid about can we do good in gaming. This is a skin called Pink Mercy, and it's purely for breast cancer. Some breast cancer research foundation, right? So 100% of the sales generated from this skin will go towards breast cancer research. 100%.
That's good.
That's kind of cool, though, isn't it?
I agree. That it's not like it's not a gimmicky like 5%. You know, like
yeah.
I think
And
Smashburger
Blizzard
does
publish
that.
how much they give. How much do you think this skin is going to raise?
How much is it selling for?
I didn't look.
Okay, I'll say $1 million, maybe more. I don't know.
At least $1 million.
I'll say $1
But
million.
here's the thing too. Like people, to a degree, some people just buy the skin because it's Mercy and they like the skin. But I think a lot of people who don't buy like skins will buy this skin, like purely because of it's a form of support. You know, it's an interesting way to like do charity. It's like I think
it's a breast cancer loot box. There's a 1% chance by opening it you get breast cancer. So be careful.
Because you buy the skin outright, you probably have to because I don't think they would put that in a loot box. Right?
I had a beautiful idea, and if this already exists in a game, please somebody in chat correct me. Imagine in your favorite game, whatever it is, League, Dota, whatever, there's something called a dark loot box, and it's a way higher chance to drop really rare stuff, but it also has like a 20% chance to destroy one of your existing skins.
Ooh.
Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's a dark loot box. So if you open it, you know you're risking a lot more.
You lose all your skins. There's a chance to lose all your skins.
Or like some tier, like it's.
Yeah, but you open that loot box on a fresh account though.
Oh no, but okay, I guess you can't buy it unless you have something to lose. Like it's an equal quality to lose. Like so, if you would get an ultra rare, it has an equal chance to destroy one of your ultra rares, or like a half chance or something. Dark loot boxes. What do you guys think? People would use them anyway, and they get so mad when they lose their shit.
I'm still surprised that we haven't seen like Blizzard or any of these. Like Blizzard selling like super rare loot boxes. Like the loot box costs $100 to open, and there's a 0.1% chance to get like a god tier skin. I know people would flip their shit being unfair, but like I'm surprised we haven't seen that yet. We've seen some good restraint, I think, by a lot of the Western game companies.
So, you know what I want to do? I want to make a mobile game or like a browser game called Chinese Poker. And the way it works is like, let's say you have like a 3 and a king, and they're gonna open the next 3 cards in the middle. You can pay real money to the dealer to get the card you want. Like you ask for a king, and then you gotta pay the dealer.
No. And increase the chance. No. Increase the chance of king coming up.
Yeah,
because like, there's a normal chance in the card deck. If there's like 10 cards already out, it's like 1 in like 42 or something. It makes it like 1 in 5. You get like $50.
Yeah.
Like, and when you do, it'd be hilarious. Like imagine you're like you get to see the table, right? And you see a player spend money, and the dealer looks at them and winks.
And then you can pay to like counteract that. So like, and you got to factor that into your bets, to see if it's worth going after that pot, because the guy just paid.
That would really spice up the game. It would really introduce like additional calculations into like figuring out when to play and when to fold, how much to bet, optimal betting, pot betting size and stuff. That'd be pretty interesting.
The name will be Chinese Poker. That's it. Everyone will know how it works.
Or pay to change your hand. That'd be great. There's like a cheating mechanic too. There's like an 8% chance you get caught, like to just changing cards.
Yeah.
GoldenRush, that's the game, boys. I think GoldenRush is actually a Russian developed game, so it's a bit like. What about that, Altay? What about a game like GoldenRush? It kind of fits into our like, game design philosophy of East versus West. I'm pretty sure GoldenRush is Russian developed, but it's actually nothing quite like. It's more of a Chinese game than a Western game.
Well, Russia does kind of straddle the two, eh? To move away from race here, maybe it's like the whole communist background. So when communism fell, maybe they were denied capitalism and free markets for so long, and their caricature of capitalism was like the mafia and like how bad America is. Everyone is cutthroat. So they emulated that because they thought capitalism meant literally slit the guy's throat next to you, take his shit. Like, so maybe they're like, oh, we're capitalists now? Oh, so let's see what capitalists do. What do capitalists do? Well, on TV, they just cheat and lie and steal. So let's do that. So maybe that's where it came from. I don't
know. Drop Bows said this is going somewhere bad. And for those unfamiliar with GoldenRush, give you a quick look at that game. It's a MOBA, but you can get gear outside the game. So you can't even buy gear in the game, right? So when you play a round of GoldenRush, you get gold, but whoever reaches 10k gold first wins. But outside the game, you can spend real life money on getting gear for your character, and the gear carries stats with it. So whoever's got the better gear has like way stronger stats, and you can't get it like using in-game currency. You have to use like real life currency.
Can I just say, I love that idea of a game. The first team to a certain gold amount wins.
Yeah, it's GoldenRush. You rush for the gold, and there's a few that you can like kill enemy heroes to get gold. Everyone starts with the tower, and if you claim that tower, you get gold every second. If you go like the enemies, so there's GoldenRush. Show us some video of GoldenRush. It's a quality game.
I will show some gameplay.
You probably find one of my first videos from forever ago, maybe.
That is what I have open, sir.
There we go. Here we go, boys. This game is really the ultimate. Your character's ultimate, your level 6 ability is actually locked. You can't even choose to get it at level 6 because you have to pay money to unlock your ultimate. Your ultimate is actually behind a paywall. And if you see other players using ultimates, it tells you that they spent money on the game, which is actually hilarious. And you know, like in like League or Dota, when you level up, right? You can choose which of your 3 abilities to level up, right? In GoldenRush, that's not the case. They just level up from left to right order. You can't even choose what you want to, put points into. This is actually a hilariously bad game.
Wasn't there another MOBA that you were playing that you could actually pay to insta-res?
Oh, that was fun. That's Heroes Evolved. Heroes Evolved? Yes, show some gameplay of Heroes Evolved. That's a game where, like in Dota 2, you can buy back. You spend some like gold to buy back. You can do it once every few minutes. In Heroes Evolved, it's not that you spend. You can't like the option. You can buy back in Heroes Evolved as well, but you can't do it for in-game currency. The only way to buy back is if you spend real life money. So if you spend $1, you can buy back into a game. It's actually hilarious. And like Dota has the glyphs. You can glyph as well, but they cost money as well. You cannot do it for free. It literally just costs real life money every time you want to use a glyph. You want to buy back. It just yeah.
Somebody glyph. No, my credit card's maxed. I can't. You do it.
Dude, we're gonna lose the game if you don't glyph. Guys, buy back. No, dude, I want to buy back. It costs money. Dude, we need to buy back or we lose. So it's actually hilarious.
I love it.
Have you seen the video? It says "Hello World" when you get a kill. Like that, I guess that part of the game's assets were not finished yet. So instead of saying like Bob killed Joe, it just says "Hello World." It makes no sense. Esports and Heroes Evolved would be something else for sure. Whoever spends more money ends up winning. This game is actually hilarious though. No. Dream drop bow. That's actually every time you get a kill, it says that. It's supposed to say like this player killed this player, but they left the code like blank, and it says "Hello World" every time you get a kill. So like they just didn't even finish the game, which is actually hilarious.
I got a Chinese-related news story. It's actually like current and related.
All right, let's hear it.
So, despite the ascent of Chinese gaming, there are a few classic veterans that we got to say goodbye to. So on June 5th, Jade Dynasty and Swordsman online will both be closing down. Swordsman's kind of new, but Jade Dynasty has been with us for a long time, 9 years ago. I remember playing that. Yeah, I remember playing that when it first came out, and that was. I think I just finished high school recently, so that's I've been playing that for a while. I don't think anyone's gonna really miss these games, but I do have one funny story about them. So in this news article I put up, so they posted a forum post on each game saying, we're gonna, basically spiel like it is with great sadness and a heavy heart that we announced the shutdown. But the two are identical, and they even have misspellings here. So in their own statement, where they're giving a heartfelt goodbye, they have misspelling. Like, they couldn't even spell check their.
Was it also literally the same message, copied and pasted, but replaced like the name of the game? No.
Yep.
Come on, because there are people that probably spend thousands on these games, spend thousands of hours, and to copy and paste the same exact goodbye message is just kind of like a punch in the gut. We never really gave a shit.
Yeah, it definitely strikes me that way.
Yeah, that's kind of sad. They're the same spelling mistakes. It's funny.
Yeah, yep. The communities is spelled improperly here. So it's funny how little they care about you over there at Perfect World Entertainment.
Actually, if you look at Swords Online was a little bit different, but if you looked at Jade Dynasty and you looked at Ether Saga Online and you looked at Perfect World International, those 3 games are all built on the same exact engine. So much so that they almost feel like reskin versions of each other. I know Ether Saga Online shut down a long time ago from Perfect World, but if you play that game, it's just so similar in like look and feel to Jade Dynasty as well. It's just weird how similar they were. They're basically a reskin version of the same game. But the positive thing here is Perfect World International is still going. That was always the most successful of the bunch of like the Chinese MMORPGs that Perfect World launched. So that one is still going.
And Forsaken World is also still going, but that one I feel will shut down next.
That game is kind of dead.
Yeah, it's not very popular. I read the forums when I heard this news, And a lot of people are, like, what, the game is dead. There's not that many players. Are they going to shut down? And there's like no response from the, developers.
Yeah, it's not going to be looking good for them. But Perfect World still has they still have Torchlight, which they haven't done anything with in a while. But Perfect World's other games, the cryptic titles, Star Trek Online and Neverwinter, are still doing pretty well. Champions Online, not so much probably, but Neverwinter has always been like pretty consistently a popular game with thousands of players online at once, which is not bad. I think Star Trek Online gets about 2,000 a day concurrent. Neverwinter's probably a bit more, probably 3,000 if I had to guess. But still, that kind of pales in comparison to Touhou Avatar Dream Battle, doesn't it? Huh?
Sure, but I wonder what the conversion rate is. Conversion, right? Yeah, conversion rate is. Because these games, like I said, the Chinese games, I feel like the people who stick around are paying, definitely. Because you have to pay in these games to get anywhere. Whereas in the Touhou game, you figure you don't
have to pay.
Yeah, you don't have to pay.
You kind of do, because the real magic of that Touhou Dream game is once you beat the normal mode in Endless, you can unlock like your own deck building, and there are actually booster packs you buy to unlock new Touhou characters, and they cost like a lot of pearls each. You get the pearls by playing the game or buying them outright for cash, and then it's kind of like a gacha. You get like this, and when you open a pack, it's almost like when you summon a card, like in the Japanese mobile games. It has like this nice little visual to it, and you see what card you draw.
Yeah.
So it's either you grind forever or you pay.
You're gonna pay.
Yeah.
But as I was playing that Dota map, I was wishing that it did not have the Touhou theme. Not because I'm against it, because it's so hard to know what the towers do based on it.
Yes. Yeah, like, you're right.
It's like I'm looking at my list of towers, right? It's like Tokomi Mizuki. And then if you read the description, it's
you're right.
This wavery flower attack allows a dimensional drift. I was like, no. If it was just called Ice Tower,
or
Fire Tower, yes. Multi-shot, Buff Tower.
No, you're right. You're right. Because I played that for the first time with my friends, and he's never played it before. And I was like, wait, you need to get a Cerno. You need to get like, if you get a Marissa Kurosama, you want to use that one right away. It's like, what? He's just so slow because he was unable to like move his towers around, get new towers. He didn't know what to pay attention to because they all had these Touhou names.
Yeah,
so people didn't exactly know what they were.
Yeah, if they were just like Arrow Tower, Bomb Tower, it was just so much easier.
There's one annoying feature in Dota 2. Like, it's next to your character's portrait. If you click on it, you get this weird first-person look for your character, right?
Yeah.
I click on that by accident. I'm playing regular Dota sometimes, and I hate it. But I clicked on it once by accident in the Touhou game, the anime tower defense, and it was actually excellent. Because it zooms into your character, you get your builder, which is Hakuru Rima, one of the Touhou characters, and the model is actually unbelievably good, right? Because it's actually a really crisp model. And when she flies, when you right click somewhere, she floats somewhere, you get a really nice panty shot. And I want you to appreciate that next time you play Altay, all right?
Next time I play, I will take a look at all my characters.
It's actually quite impressive for your builder. It's a quality panty shot, boys.
Oh yeah, but I am glad that there's that map out there. I hope the success brings more attention to the Dota 2 custom scene.
I just hope it gets somebody to kind of realize how important custom maps are and modding is, and make a game that relies more heavily on it.
Well, speaking of Dota 2, apparently right before we went live, Dota 2 announced their Compendium, the new Compendium for 2018. And let's see, how much are they selling it for? Okay, so they've already raised. I think the base is 2 million. So they raised 400.
The base is way less than 2 million. The seed is I think 600K or 1 million.
Okay, so I bet they're going to sell a lot of these. And remember, Valve only puts 25% of the purchase price of these into the pool. They keep the rest as just profit.
Yeah, I think the base price pool is 1.6 million or so.
Okay, yeah. So they raised what then? 800,000 or something.
Some crazy amount already. Look at TI. They just launched. There's a website for the tracker already. They're at 2.5 million already. So they're right about $1 million. They raised about $1 million already from the. If they raised $1 million, that means they sold over $5 million. They sold about $5 million worth of compendiums already, and it's off to a stronger start than any other year so far, which is pretty crazy. But yeah, I mean, I'm excited to watch those games. I find Dota 2 still exciting to watch. But I think I'm most. But you know what I'm most excited for all time?
What are you
probably already know now? MapleStory 2. Closed beta launches tomorrow, boys. I think a lot of people are excited for that, and not just that, Bless as well. And actually, one of my friends was telling me that he was watching Summit 1G stream, a really big streamer, and my other friend was watching Shroud, And even people like Shroud and Summit are excited to play Bless. Like they're looking forward to trying Bless. And this tells me that there's such a itch for another MMORPG out there. Like people still itch to play an MMORPG. So time will tell if Bless or MapleStory 2 will be able to fill that. I'm personally more excited about MapleStory 2 though. I mean, after I play the Korean version and seeing what it can do, I'm really hoping it does well. I'm really hoping they don't fuck up the launch. People are worried that it might be pay to win or whatnot, or what. I'm just hoping they don't screw it up.
When is Bless heading close beta?
This month, May. Later in May. I'm not sure if we have an exact release date, but it's supposed to be this month. And unlike MapleStory, Bless will be buy to play. Just you can look at a Grindfest Friday video for it too. We played for a while.
I am. Okay. So someone in chat said something interesting I want to touch on. So Dota 2 is finally seems adding role matchmaking. I think.
Oh, that's a point of controversy. I think.
Yeah, it is, and League has something similar for a while, right? You can.
Yes, long time. League's had it now, years.
I think for many weeks, every time you brought up toxicity, and again, I'm not going to go too deep into this, I promise. But you said, what are the alternatives? You always kind of gave me like, you're making it seem like it's so easy to come up with alternatives to stop it in game, right? I'd argue that a lot of toxicity and game leaving and feeding, not all of it, right? But a substantial percentage is over roles, like who's mid, who's care. Okay, so an easy way for these games to fix that in client without resorting to out of client stuff like bans is literally just give people a role queue. If I queue for mid, if I queue for carry, if I queue for support, now nobody can take that role from me, right? Because I can't
do that though.
You can do that.
My friend made a good point. No, my friend made a good point about Dota 2. Dota 2's roles are not as rigid as League of Legends roles, where you can queue up for top, you can queue up for mid, jungle.
No.
There's only one role. There's one role in Dota 2. No, there's only one. It's the hard fire support is the only explicitly concrete role. Wait, what? Everything else is so fluid. What else is there? Everything else is fluid. Depends on what the picks are, how things evolve.
There's mid. Okay, how things evolve.
There's multiple. Mid is one. Mid and queuing up for mid and a hard 5 support is a thing in Dota. Yes, that's it though.
Okay, and
carry can mean like different things sometimes, and it's not.
Everything can evolve. Obvious. I mean, even in League, if your mid just feeds all game, he's 0 and 10. Obviously, he's not gonna have the same impact that he would in a normal game.
But he's not gonna be. What else are you queuing for? You don't know if it's gonna be a tri lane. You know if it's gonna be 2 duo lanes. You know if there's gonna be. Is there a jungle role? No.
You can. Okay, look, they can figure that out in chat in game. Again, it's not gonna stop. It's not gonna stop 100%, right? But it will have and nobody fights over support. Here are the roles people actually fight over. Let me tell you. Ready? Mid. It's mid and carry, and that's it. There's no other. No one's like, no, I want it to be hard support. I can't believe you took it from me. I'm gonna feed down middle now. Never happened. Never happened. All right.
Sure.
All right. So that's a beautiful, easy thing they can do quickly to stop. I would say 20% of all toxicity right off the bat. Right? What do you think? Okay. So
yes, it'll help. I think it'll help. It'll definitely help. But again, the roles aren't as rigid as they are in Dota in League of Legends. But it's still going to help reduce the toxicity for sure.
Yeah.
But a lot of toxicity comes from like, why did you pick that hero? He doesn't go with our comp. You fucking.
Again, you're not gonna stop it all. You're not gonna stop it all. But this very simple thing will stop a good amount.
But I'm looking at this MapleStory 2 video in the background, and I'm even more hyped now for MapleStory 2. This is actually, you can see like the capital city, and you can see all these player-made houses in the cities. How cool does that look? And all these houses are so different, and they exist in the persistent world. It makes housing so much more meaningful when it doesn't exist in a bullshit instanced area. Like, I'm surprised like so few games do this. And look at this random house looks amazing. There's all this random shit people collect. It's got this very Animal Crossing-like feel to it. And like if done correctly, like this is what people want in MMORPGs, by the way. This is it. They want to collect rare shit. Which is why I'm kind of surprised that like Final Fantasy 14 and WoW don't have like more rare shit. Just like stuff you can just show off that does nothing, but like it's a decoration or something, right? Like more just rare things.
Yeah.
So
Ultima Online was great at that.
Yeah, beautiful, yeah. You collect all these rare statues, you show them off in your house, like, and you can see that happening in MapleStory too. And if they do this correctly, and you don't need the hardcore, like the hardcore elements of an MMORPG, the hardcore PvP and raiding is such like a minute percent of the player base does that anyway. But if you can do the like item collecting well, where there's like so many rare items to collect and shit to collect and trade and get, it'd be amazing.
Indeed. Yeah, well, you know, so this is coming out tomorrow, right? MapleStory 2?
Yes. Closed beta starts tomorrow. There will be a wipe in between closed beta. We don't know when beta will start, but like it'll let us see what the game is all about at least, like the Western version. So I'm still going to play. I'm excited for it.
We actually got 2 official releases today for games that were previously, playable. We got Paladins. It's officially out now. No more early access. and Conan Exiles, which is something we played a lot, and we even had a server for it. Gumball used to run our MMOs.com server for Conan Exiles. That game also came out officially today, and it's doing really well on Steam charts. I don't know if you saw the numbers, but it is.
Just launched.
It is kaboomin' on Steam. And
kaboomin'.
They released a launch trailer, and it is a really good trailer. It's really impressive. It makes me want to try the game again.
I have about 49 hours into Conan Exiles. I haven't played in like a year, but I actually re-downloaded it, so I'm probably gonna give it a try. It's a 50 GB game, so it's a bit of much. But Altay, I wanted to tell you, because when you mentioned the Paladins, did you hear about the Paladins gimmick for their giveaway? They're doing like the biggest giveaway ever. You hear about that?
I haven't heard about it. What are they
okay, so what they're doing is they said we're doing $100 million giveaway, which is like, well, wait a minute, that's a lot of money, boys. You know, can high-res afford $100 million? What they're doing is they're giving away like 200 crystals to everyone that's ever played Paladins, and there's like over 10 million, people that played. So they're giving away like the cash shop value of like $100 million if you were to buy those cash shop items individually. It's such a silly like marketing buzzword, but like I guess they're not wrong. It's $100 million worth of in-game currency.
That's pretty funny. I like that. That.
But that's actually the best kind of giveaway anyway. People give me cash shop currency. That's what I want, so I can buy what I want. Like that's the best kind of giveaway anyway.
Low res. That's like a slide against high res.
I'm actually really liking this this Conan Exiles launch trailer.
Oh yeah,
it looks pretty hype.
It's legit.
I had a lot of fun with this game. Again, 49 hours, playing in a relatively short period of time. I played like all day for like the first week, and then I kind of stopped.
I thought
I had a lot of fun with it.
I thought the game was great, and apparently they made that better. The combat's better. The world's bigger now, so that part's good. The part I did not like about Conan Exiles, which by the way cost money, it was a retail game, was it just didn't work half the time.
Yeah.
Servers were made for 64 players. You couldn't have more than 20, or else it would just rubber band and crash on you.
Yep.
That's unacceptable, for a game that costs money. And their obvious excuse was early access. Derp derp. We get away with anything. But now it's full release, and I will be installing this tonight. And then when I play it, probably tomorrow, I'm gonna join a server with 60 players, and if it lags, I'm gonna be mad. And I'll let you guys know if I lag.
Yeah, I kind of want to see if we can. I want to see the servers if they still have if the official servers still support 32 players or more. I wish I could find that right now, but I can't. But they better have 64 player servers up right now. Yeah, I've been playing a lot of Rust, so I could easily see myself going to places.
Yeah, you should give it a shot.
Yeah, I plan to.
It'd be cool if it does work. We should I don't know, get a server going for our
buddies. Yeah. There are a lot of servers with 70 players, but I want to find official servers. We can find official servers if possible. But yeah, I'll look at that later when we launch the game.
Indeed.
Oh, one more thing I wanted to share with you. Did you know Amazon has their own esports league?
Amazon has an esports league.
Yeah, anyone in the chat know that? I kind of read to this recently. I just looked at the author. It's called the Mobile Masters.
Mobile Masters.
It's not esports league for PC games. Esports league for mobile games. Called the Mobile Masters.
What games?
You want to play? I didn't know this was a game, but you guys want to start a team for Power Rangers Legacy Wars? It's best upcoming qualifiers, boys.
Best Power Ranger there is. All right.
We missed. We participated in the May 12th qualifier, boys. Let's go.
I want to see what this
I didn't even know about this.
Let's see what this looks like.
Yeah,
Power Rangers Legacy. What's it called? Legacy
Wars.
Dibs
on Blue Ranger. Angry Birds now an esport. Not so sure about Angry Birds, but some of the PvP ones.
Oh, it's a fighting game.
No. Is it pay to win?
Oh, I think it's the same. Is it like a card-based fighting game like the Tekken one?
Might be. I've actually never heard about this guy. I don't really keep in touch with my mobile games too much.
I think it is because I'm looking at the gameplay and it seems like they have 3 cards, like 3 moves, like power kick.
Yeah, I see.
And they're just choosing which one they want to do. So it's like a card game fighting game.
Isn't it like a lot of luck then too? Like depending on what your opponent picks, what you pick. It's like rock paper scissors to a degree.
I guess so.
Who knows?
Well, you know what? Why don't you master it, and then you too can become a Amazon Mobile Master, okay?
Mobile Master, boys. I gotta show you one video from MapleStory too. This is pretty funny. I saw this on our MapleStory too. It's called BuzzFeed is already writing articles about this.
Okay, link it. All right,
I'll link it to you in Twitch in chat.
I got it. All right, what's going on here?
Play it. It's short.
Should I play with audio or no?
Yeah.
Okay.
Gender locked glasses. You can make any gender you want.
Gender locked?
Well, there's only 2 genders. Oh.
Wait.
Wait, I missed it. I'm playing again.
Okay, no, there are no gender locked glasses. You can make any gender you want. Well, there's only 2 genders.
There are only 2 genders confirmed, boys. It's confirmed
no.
in MapleStory. And then she kind of regrets saying there are only 2 genders at the end, which is pretty funny.
They clipped it, and it's gonna make her look like.
Yeah, it's her saying there's only 2 genders. BuzzFeed is already writing articles, boys.
That's funny.
I thought it was pretty funny.
I'm hearing some music. Where's this coming from? Oh, it's coming from League. By the way, League of Angels has pretty good music.
Oh yeah? Are you still playing League of Angels all the time? How's that going?
I have it open.
Are you killing shit?
The music is actually really good. I think they must have stole it from somewhere.
Maybe. Jurgens, there's a lot of MapleStory 2 footage already on YouTube. We were playing some earlier on the stream. So yeah, what you can see in the video is from the community manager playing. Wow, one of the best autoplay. The music is nice.
Right? I wish I could mute the freaking audio, the speaking part though.
There was actually I remember there's a landing page with League of Angels which just literally ripped off the music from League of Legends, like the champion select music. So like they probably stole it from somewhere else. I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, I think they stole it.
Alright, question for you, Altay. Do you know how much money the company that makes League of Angels is worth?
What else did it make it?
Probably it's a few other shitty browser games. Let me look this up.
Are they worth 100 million?
All right, let's take a look, boys. We can end with this quality stat too. They're called Yuzu Interactive. All right, they are traded in Shenzhen. They are worth how many? 20 billion yuans. So 20.
What is that in American money?
$3.14 billion.
With a B.
With a B.
So they're worth more than RuneScape by far.
They're worth. Right, League of Angels is worth 10 times what RuneScape is worth.
Holy.
How do you guys feel about that? Is that insane? They're worth they're close to what Square Enix is worth, all right? And they make League of fucking Angels, boys.
Yeah, you know what, guys? I think this game is so much fun that I just gotta go quicker. I gotta pull out the credit card.
Yeah, that's the plan, boys.
You know. Billy.
And that is actually, you can look up I just dropped the link. This is, they're publicly traded. User Interactive Company is worth, the market cap is 19.529 billion Chinese yuan. Just translate to US dollars. That is the value of League of Angels, boys.
All right, I know their business model. So while you're playing the game, they actually activate your webcam. They take pictures of you masturbating to their loading screens. Okay, because they have these hot titties. Now then they email you saying, unless you upgrade to VIP, we're gonna email you your wife or your daughter this picture. So then you say, I mean, I'm playing anyway. I might as well be VIP. Huh? Think about it.
How much does it cost to upgrade to VIP in that game? Let me look.
I don't know.
Okay, you need to spend you need 10,000 dev points. All right, that's fine. Let's do the math together on stream real quick. All right, Altay, here. I dropped the link to their VIP page. All right.
Okay.
Let's see. It requires 10,000 dev points.
Well, why is it so complicated? I just want to give them my money. Well, I don't want a degree in math.
Shit. We need to find out how many dev points you get for each purchase. How to get VIP.
I don't even get what's going on here.
All right, let's find out.
I just want my girl to have bigger titties. What do I click?
Okay, 500 diamonds spent equals 1 dev point. All right. So how much does 500 diamonds cost? Can you look in the cash app right now, Altay?
Oh, okay. Let me see. How do I close this shit?
Okay, just hit the cash app. There should be a cash app on over there. Let's find out.
Okay, I see it. I see
So
it.
every 500 diamonds is 1 dev point.
Oh, we got 100 bits. Those will be used for diamonds and League of Angels. Thank you. Okay, no. So I see topazes for sale. Okay, so for $500, I can buy 20,000 topazes. That's like the biggest bundle.
For 500, how many topazes do you get?
20K for $500.
20,000. All right, for 500. Okay, so so the math comes out to, in order to get VIP level 10, purely by spending in-game currency, you gotta spend $125,000 to get VIP level 10, boys. Level 9. All right, boys, that's it. You need $125,000 is the math for it. We need a lot more bits to pay for that, boys. We need more bits.
So you can get a luxury car, or like a condo in a mid-sized U.S. city, or
VIP level 9 in League of Angels.
Think about it.
It's what's there to think about? You go to the League of Angels, obviously. Come on, all right? Come on.
Do you know how many copies of StarCraft or Diablo 1 that Blizzard had to sell to make that much money? If you do, you got to divide by 50. All right, that's how many. All right.
You can buy a house. You can buy a car. No. You can buy some VIP level 9 in League of Angels, boys. That's the play. That's insane. But the thing is, there are people that you see in the game with VIP level like 9 or 8. Like when you click on them, you can see their VIP level sometimes. So it's not like nobody does this.
Oh,
and
no.
Why
people are doing it?
There's a reason this company's worth $3 billion.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah, people are doing it. Like, don't think that we're joking. I mean, it's definitely happening.
They're not a $3 billion company for nothing.
This is actually the podcast, and it's coming to an end. And unless you have any other news to cover, I think we're running out of time here.
This week has been really quiet, though. And it really hasn't been too much going on. Really, the most exciting thing I came across was, obviously I'm hyped for MapleStory too, but I've been having a lot of fun playing that custom map on Dota 2. So it's been a very quiet week, actually. Not too much drama, All
right. Well, we will end it for the podcast and stick around a little bit for the post game. So thanks for watching, YouTube, Twitch. Stay put.
YouTube.
We'll be back in a minute.